I was wondering if you were going to turn up today. What I'm in the middle of, aside from just watering some seedlings, is I'm doing something else with rubbish bins. If you've watched my videos in the past, you'll see a couple of videos on these water butts that I make with a tap on the bottom out of a rubbish bin. Turn the lid upside down and it catches water off shade sails and things. The water just dribbles down this chain and it gives me a selection of places to get nice fresh rainwater from all around the garden. But I've just been to town and bought a rubbish bin and some other bits for a whole different project. Come and have a look. Califont systems are convenient, but they are pretty hungry on gas. This one's fully adjustable and can be turned down to suit. So what my plan is to preheat water in the sunshine up on the roof with the solar panels, and that preheated water will be piped down the wall here, and it'll come down and interrupt these two grey pipes and deliver already pre-warmed water into the Califont, so it won't have to work so hard and I get to save gas. So what's going to preheat it when it's up on the roof? Blackness and sunshine. What I'm going to do is convert this rubbish bin into a 45 litre cistern up the top here, so the water will be gravity fed, but it'll be nice and warm, and these things are a low pressure unit, so it shouldn't worry it. I'll just have to adjust the shower so that it gets more hot water than cold water because of the difference in the pressure of the two systems, hot and cold. I'm going to have to get in behind the shower mixer and make some adjustments so that the shower still delivers me a good usable water, because what I'm going to have is high pressure cold water and low pressure hot water. It'll be like in the old farmhouses in the old days, but you can adjust things to compensate for it. So this idea will work, and over the long run it'll save me hundreds of dollars each year in gas for hot water heating. Here's a quick scan around the rest of the little building I've got here. Kitchen on one side, dividing wall, bathroom, shower, composting toilet on the other side. The whole lot has been made on a minimal budget. I'm going to do a couple more videos where I can explain just how I did each feature and why each feature cost me so little. So what I bought when I was at the shops was this, a 45 litre rubbish bin. It's half the size of that one, but for this job it's perfect. I don't want anything too heavy because it's going to live up there on the roof. In addition to the rubbish bin, I bought one of these things. This is the cistern valve from inside a toilet that automatically fills it up and always maintains a set level. So I'm going to fit that inside here, and that will control how much water is in here being heated by the sun during the day, so that at the end of the day I've got preheated water ready to go through the gas Califont here for when I need to have a shower or do any dishes. So over the long run, over the course of a year, it's probably going to save around half my gas because the water is already preheated. This is a tank fitting, and the tank fitting will go into the bottom, and that will allow the water to come down, and then these fittings will be connected onto the side here, and that will allow me to deliver the water up onto the roof into here. This controls the level, so it's always constant, and these fittings will allow me to reconnect the pipe back down into the Califont again, so that the Califont is never working with chilled water. It's always working with water that's already half warmed up. So come on, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. Bit of a jury rig. I'm only using garden hose because I'm not going to work on the plumbing until I make sure that the actual delivery is enough for the caliphant. I want to make sure that there's enough head, enough pressure caused by the fall rather than caused by pump, because with this system I'm relying on gravity. So all I've got is the weight of the water coming down the pipe from there to here to provide pressure to the califont. It may not operate the califont. Califonts have inside them a very sensitive system of pressure switches, and you have to have water pressure within a certain range. So this is an experiment. I won't know whether it works, but what we're going to do today is fill it up. I'm going to take the temperature of the water as it goes in, and I'll leave it until this time tomorrow to warm up. And I just also want to make sure that the ballcock valve turns itself off when it gets to the top. So let's flick the hose on and we'll see what we get. The water around here is normally about 15 degrees Celsius. So what I'll do is just find a suitable receptacle. Here we go, here's an old ice cream container. I'll just pour a little bit of water into this ice cream container and take its temperature. And let's see what we've got. Is it about 16 degrees? It's 20! Nice summery day. We've got 20.8 degrees straight out of the tap. So we'll connect this up, turn it on, and start filling this container at the top. Okay. They're a slow fill. They're in order to keep toilets quiet, they restrict the flow so that you don't get that huge sound. So we'll sneak up the ladder and just see if it is indeed filling. I see that I've got a wee leak up there, but I can fix that while I'm up there. As I get closer, I can hear the water running. It is filling. I'll just tighten up this nut a wee bit. Yeah, it's very loose. I'll have to put you down while I do it. Hang on a moment. There we go. That stopped the leak. And the water's up to about here. Up there. I might as well hang around up here and wait until the ballcock valve turns it off. And then we can go away and do something else until tomorrow. And just see how much it warms up in a full day in the sun, because right now it's pretty much the end of the day. It's 4:30 or 5 o'clock, so we're not going to get too much more sun. It's sounding like it's, yeah, it's nearly there. It'll be turning off in a moment. Shh, stop talking. I think it stopped. Ah, it's still flowing a little bit. Must be close. So there we go. It's filled up. I've got a wee leak here to attend to because I only did it up hand tight, for goodness sake. So I'll crank that up and leave it till tomorrow, and I'll come back with this and we'll see what temperature it gives me at the end of the day after tomorrow. Now, one last little thing that I can do is just see what kind of pressure I get out of here. I'll take this knob off the end. Okay. That is ample pressure for running this hot water system. Winning, as usual. Right, well it's 7 AM the next morning and checking the temperature, it's 19.8 degrees. So let's see if we can get it up to about 25 or 26 by the end of the day. Well, what happened at the end of the day? I've got a surprise for you. I had to pull it apart and do things all very differently because I didn't have enough head to get the pressure switch in the califont to turn on. The califont wouldn't work at all. So I'm going to have to go away from a gravity system and go to a full pressurized system, but it still has to be on the roof. So here's 100 meters of black alkathene pipe crammed inside the rubbish bin. And this rubbish bin is now going to stay dry. Here it is, back up here again. I've plumbed in those. You can see inside that it's dry. It's just the hose inside. In fact, I could feel a warm blast of warm air come out of there as I opened it. I think this is going to work just as well, although the volume of water won't be the same. Instead of having a full 45 litres of water, I've only got about 20 litres now. So it won't work for as long. And just to finish off, here's a little friend I met in the garden. People from overseas probably won't know what a weta is. W-E-T-A. It's New Zealand's biggest insect. And I'm trying to make friends with it, but it's being very aloof and doesn't want to know. This one's a particularly big one, full grown female, and she doesn't want to play. There's several different species of weta in New Zealand. I don't know the name of this one, and I don't know the name of most of the others, except there's a big one that reputedly has a body the size of a mouse. And then there's the cave weta, which is adapted for living underground, and that's got really, really long legs and antennae because it has to cover large distances and it lives in the dark, and they are a full 8 inches long. And then a neighbour turned up. Good, good. I'm just playing with the biggest fucking weta I've ever seen, man. It's getting snobby and trying to go away. I don't want it to go away. Isn't that huge? This little shed is rapidly becoming the nerve centre of the whole operation. I'm catching water off the roof. I've got large solar panels up there. I've got individual solar panels that operate a floodlight for the garden. I've got another wee solar panel up there that provides me with power for the fairy lights that are in the trees here. The wind turbine is connected through it through the underground, and that's helping to charge batteries when the solar can't keep up with it. I've even got a rubbish bin on the roof.